Well, here I am, and I'm thrilled to be here, sincerely, because no one has ever done a Jerry Lee Lewis Day. And as soon as I heard about it, I said, I'm going for him. Because I don't know how many are really, really good fans, but his fans were his life for many, many years. Until he married me, he said. But I can answer any questions that anybody wants to ask about Jerry Lee Lewis, because we're from the same type of environment. Can y'all hear me? Yeah. Grew up the same way, parents the same way. Our daddies drug us all over the country. You know, we grew up poor, but if you're poor and you know it, you're not poor. So we had those values. So would y'all like to ask any questions about him, or you want me to keep talking?
Did you ever talk about the days that we really are acknowledging him for being here in Union Parish?
For going to school here, yes. Yeah. And him and Dorothy had a house here. That was his first wife. I loved her. I got to know her.
I'm old enough to know Dorothy.
Yeah, but she was a classy lady. I think she passed away a couple of years ago.
She did.
And she's the only one that never tried to make any money off him. She could have been a millionaire because she was the first Miss Jerry Lee Lewis. I could have cared less to be. I could have lived on the Black River with him in a trailer. You know, that's just how we were. And money was never important to him or to me. I mean, it was important, but we tithed and everything. But I just wanted you to know that we were just real country people. And even though he was a rock superstar, he was my Louisiana country boy. So his fans and being here keeps me from mourning so bad. Because when you get our age, in our 70s and 80s, you don't think you're ever going to marry again or find anybody or anything. And neither one of us were looking. He had almost given up at it. You know, was very sick when I came to take care of him. He had pneumonia, double pneumonia, and shingles. And if you go to YouTube, you can see Judith Lewis' surprise love story, and it tells how we met and how long it took for us to fall in love, which was about 8 months. And then we waited 2 years because his family, his daughter and ex-wife freaked out, and they never did want him to have what we had. And I don't mean that ugly. I'm just saying that they gave me a very hard time, and he stood up for me, no matter what they did to me. And we withstood it, and we withstood a lot of stuff. He was stolen from most of his life. Didn't care, didn't want any revenge. He just prayed about it and said, Judith, stay away from those people. And so that's what we did. We had our own routine that we did, and I know that, I don't know if y'all see the stuff he puts, he talked to his fans every week or every month, so, and he talked about the virus, the COVID, and Jerry worked, one time he worked 10 years, every day. Every day. He did not have a vacation until he married me. He traveled all over the world, saw everything, but he never had a vacation. We went to my sister on the 4th of July, and it was the first time for him to be off in 50 years. So he was just, when we started doing things like that, he was like, he's supposed to be somewhere working, you know. So I need some water because my mouth's getting dry.
You got one in there and open here.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Jerry.
Make sure it's open for it.
And anyway, in the last 3 or 4 years about that virus, he said, I hate that people got sick. I hate that they died. But it was the best 2 years of my life. Because he didn't have to travel, didn't have to do anything. So, what would y'all like to know?
How long were y'all married?
11 years and together 14.
how do you get a hold of that film, 85th birthday?
You can go on YouTube.
I mean, I know you can see it there, but where do you get a copy of it?
We don't have, I don't know that we have any copies of it, except on there. That I know of. That's where Jimmy,
I was hoping somebody had did.
I'll ask.
I'd love to have a CD of it or whatever. It's out there.
I've been so distraught since it happened because it was kind of sudden. Because he could always bounce back. We would do therapy. He had a stroke and he was about 90% over that. And doing real well, but I started looking back at the way he worked and what he did for his fans. And I'm telling you, I'm sincere that he loved his fans. He would say, I need you, I love you, I can't do it without you. And if you watch his videos, you can go back, and I've seen stuff like that on there. So that's why I'm here. This town is beautiful. The people that wanted to do this for him. I'm sorry. But I know that his spirit is here and that he would appreciate this. It doesn't matter that this is a small town. It doesn't matter if there were but 10 people. But just the fact that the fans are giving back to him what he gave to them. So it's very emotional for me. But I'm usually real strong around his fans, you know, I do fine. But it's just that I miss him and I miss everything. So I'm moving back south later on because it's just too hard to go and stay in the house. So I have a real good friend that had gone through the same thing, Mr. Riley, and it's tough. It's just really tough, especially when you have what we have, what people dream about having. Because a lot of people don't marry someone that they grew up the same way with. I mean, that's just the way it is. It's not like what we had. We laughed about the same things. Even being me in Mississippi Delta and Louisiana Delta, we laughed about all that stuff. And I haven't asked Gerald if they grew up like that. You did? But I think both of us in the first and second grade, we moved 8 times. I mean, 8 times. But our daddies were sharecroppers, and that's just the way it was. We made it. There were 9 of us. How many of y'all?
In my family?
Yeah.
4 siblings.
Oh.
Count me, 4.
Oh, counting you. Okay. So y'all understand what I'm saying about growing up and marrying someone that you have something in common with. So that's what we did, and we fought it. We were never going to remarry, but we did. We talked till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and the good thing about that, it never changed. It never changed. He never criticized me. He never nagged me. I never nagged him. I cooked anything he wanted to eat, and I got anything he wanted. Anything, because he had all of his jewelry stolen over the last 20-something years. And he had one piece left, and it was his piano ring. And he had to hide it so nobody would get it. So he gave that to me on our 5th anniversary. So what he would do, if I got down or whatever, arthritis, that he did too, he would say, well, let's go to Sam's or somewhere and get you some jewelry. Finally, I couldn't have it anymore. I had so much I couldn't live with it. But that's what I'm going to tell you. We both loved jewelry. And he would say, well, you go over there so you can't see what I'm giving you. Well, I'd come back and he'd have it hidden. And he'd say, and look what they got for me. My hand. So I said, okay, we'll get you that. So we've got what we had together. Doesn't have anything on, but that doesn't matter. So anyway, I had to finally say, you got to think of something else to get me besides jewelry. So anyway, I have a ring. I have everything he's got given me on me, but there's much, much more. Tara told me, she said, you need to wear everything he got you. I said, look me all the way up to here.
Enjoy.
But it means a lot that we have
We
that
have
time.
something special to do today.
Oh,
Well, we were talking about painting earlier, remember?
oh, yeah.
So, thank you for being here, by the way, because I
Oh,
know
you're
what you're
welcome.
going through. But in honor of your husband and you, I did a little cypress stump, and his piano's actually coming out of the cypress stump. With his piano board, we have the Hornets, the Nest, the Linville High School map, the music notes.
That's where he went.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And then you got your little swamp and your little trees. So this is for you.
Thank you. So y'all gonna have this every year?
We do it every 6 months. You come see us.
It's this lipstick she sold me. It's the lipstick. It'll make the lips dry out.
Talk about that red truck and the dog.
What?
The red truck you got, and you always wanted the red
Oh,
truck.
yes, he wanted a pickup. Never had a pickup, but just old stuff that didn't work half the time. And people abused his car barn with all his cars and put sugar in the gas tanks and all. That's what he went through with the last divorce. Ruined everything with 2 or 3 cars. But anyway, he just did all right. But when I got there, there was a Buick that he had bought off of the showroom floor. A Buick, what was that? What was the name of that big Buick? No, bigger than that. They don't make them anymore. Yes. When I got there, the wheels were off, 2 of them. The gas tank was out. Windshield was cracked. Nobody was even using it. It was, I think it was a 96, I'm not sure. And I got it fixed for him because he told me that was his favorite car and that he bought it off the showroom floor. I fixed it up like, and I started driving it, and man, it drove good. Smooth and everything. So that's that story.
Are there any other questions while we?
Any questions? Yeah.
I grew up in Chicago in the 1950s, so I saw him on TV a lot. And I'm so happy he had you in his life.
Thank you.
And that helps his family. Is he still getting royalties from the songs way back there in the 50s?
I think that Sam Phillips owed him like many millions. And he told Jerry, Jerry said, well, where's all my money? He said, well, I'm not going to give it to you, you'll just go spend it. So he never did give it to him. Finally, some. I got that water.
His performances were his income then.
Yes, and the IRS was not his fault. He had the sorriest people looking after him. And have y'all seen all the stuff about the ranch? Well, here's the truth about the ranch. 3 or 4 of the ex-wives, while they were with him, tried to get it. So he asked his friend, is there anything we can do? Because they're going to try to get it. One of them forged a thing like a real sale. So his best friend said, well, yeah, we can put it in a trust. And that's what they did. The only thing that they didn't do was turn it back over to him for his heirs. But the guy died 13, 14 years ago, and it all went to his 3 children. But we had moved out of the ranch because of the memories he wanted to start over. He had never had a house built. Built one for his mother and his sister, but he never had one built. So we built it together. It took us 2 years. I let him pick out whatever he wanted. Well, he wanted marble in the foyer. Well, we just have a little bitty hallway, so we got marble. He wanted little chandeliers. We got chandeliers even in the bathroom stall. I'm not kidding, even in the laundry room. And it's not a good laundry room, it's just a little bitty. Yeah.
Music notes in the stairs.
What?
Music notes.
Oh yeah, he designed the stairs with music notes, which it just goes up to storage and stuff. We made it real big in our bedroom and big in the living room because we'd have people coming in doing interviews and TV and stuff like that. So that never had to be cleaned up. We just stayed perfect. We lived on the back porch that we closed in. Tara, you've seen the back porch.
The dog.
Yeah, we have 2 puppies, and little Jerry Lee and little Judith. Little Jerry Lee, they're part Doberman, mini pincher, which is baby Doberman, and Chihuahua. And we're not spoiling them too much. They have their own room. Well, because when people were there, we didn't want them coming out. But they have a doggy door and they have the whole backyard. And we had a king-size bed with 4 posters and it broke and everything. Well, we fixed it up and gave it to them. And little Jerry Lee thinks he's a human. That's the truth. He's in mourning really bad because Jerry loved babies and dogs. And even if you were a semi-thief, if you like dogs, he'd say, he's just a little petty thief. You know, he likes animals, you know. He's not all bad. So those were his life, and right now, that's all I have. I have no family up there, and those dogs, they're in mourning too, and they just don't want me away from them, so that's why I'm driving back home today.
Is that in Nashville or
Ma'am,
whereabouts?
South Haven, right out of Memphis.
Oh, okay.
But his heart's always been in Louisiana. Don't you know that? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Good place.
And we came to Natchez where he played when he was 15 years old. And if the drummer didn't show up, he would play the piano with one hand and the drums with the other. He could play any instrument, every one of them. But he chose the piano because he could make it talk.
Is that right?
I mean, he could make it talk. And his song to me that he sung on stage, I'd like to never found it on the internet. It's called Pledging My Love. And the piano sounds like it's talking in that particular song. I mean, he could make sounds on a piano that, you know, I've never heard. But he especially liked playing the piano on my back, when my back hurt. He did that kind of thing. So I'm letting y'all know a lot of stuff to let you know how really human he was and how thankful he was that God got us together. And he never complained, Loved anything I cooked. And I don't cook anymore. I just can't do it because I cooked for him, and I just don't want to cook anymore. I don't even go to the grocery store one time in 5 months because everything I did in there was his meat and potatoes, and I like tuna fish and pasta and all that, you know.
Same way.
Yeah.
Did he have any formal music training?
No. He went to that Bible study, and he wanted to put a little boogie woogie in My God Is Real. And so he didn't make it. He didn't want to make it. Everything he did. Okay, that's fine. If you want me to quit. All right. Okay, let's sit down.
Here.
Okay.
Judith, we love you.